For Atlanta United, too, it was a rough midweek, dropping a 1-0 lead and a 2-1 loss. But they're back home in Kennesaw, and it's time for the 7-7-0, the 6-7-8, and the 4-7-0 to take on football 305. It's the USL Championship on ESPN Plus next. Time for some action at the Fraction. It's the USL Championship on ESPN Plus from Fifth Third Bank Stadium here in Kennesaw. Atlanta United 2 coming in with a record of 4-17-4 against the Miami FC. North of the playoff bar right now with a record of 9-8-7 in the East. In for Jason Longshorts, Jarrett Smith alongside me, John Nelson. Jarrett, welcome back to the S-Suite. What do you think about tonight?
I think tonight's a really interesting matchup. Two teams that had tough midweek results. Atlanta United 2 goes up to New York and drops points against Red Bulls, whereas Miami loses at home to Tulsa. Both teams trying to get back on the horse.
Let's see what the 7 teams are going to be looking at tonight for players to focus on. Someone for the Miami FC who's been a pain for all teams at Atlanta.
It's Florian Velo, and he might not be the guy who puts the ball in the back of the net, but he's going to be the guy who sets it up. Leads the team with 6 assists, 36 chances created, and 23 appearances. One of the key guys in that build-up play. 2
goals on the season for number 10 as well. For the home side, someone who can pretty much be a lot of different places for Atlanta United too.
Highmark can be anywhere you need him to be. You might see him at left back. You might see him up on the left wing in the attacking half. However it is, he's one of those guys who might be on the end of a dangerous situation for Atlanta United too. Very fast and very nails in the big moments. More than happy to step up and take that big penalty kick if it comes in late.
As long as he's not left out when it comes to your position. That's your look at your players on both sides. When we come back, it's the starting 11s in the first 45. Atlanta United 2 and the Miami FC from Kennesaw. Sick and stay. We will return.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truest, together for better.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
You wouldn't put your team on the same field as the pros. So why would you take them to the same doctor? From growth plates to emotional needs, teens are different than adult athletes. Take them where they're treated that way.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare, to give you a better, seamless, more unified experience, so you can simply access and manage your care all in one place, with tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime, and even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont, real change lives here.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truest, together for better.
Welcome back to Kennesaw. We're getting you ready for the first 45 here as the Miami FC visits Atlanta United 2. John Nelson here, Jarrett Smith there. Thanks for accessing us however you are doing so tonight. Let's take a peek at the starting lineups and what we are going to be looking at from a formation standpoint. Let's start things off with the visitors and Anthony Pulis. 3 changes from the midweek.
That's 3 changes up at the front. The back looks pretty much the same we've seen, but it's Parks up top right now. You do not have Kyle Murphy starting. He is on the bench, however, Florian Below in the middle. And as we mentioned, the back 5, back 6 if you count Sparrow. It's the same as we saw, and they've had a lot of wear and tear on those legs in the last week.
3rd time in a week that those folks will have been playing. That back 7 for the Miami FC. Now, for the home side and Atlanta United, too, when you look at their lineup, this one could be interesting.
Yeah, shape is a bit of a construct here because it looks like a 5. It might play more like a 4 like we saw in the midweek, where in that case, push Highmar further up the field on the left-hand side, slide everything over to the left-hand side a little bit where Bryce Washington's playing more of a right back, Mikey Ambrose playing more of a left back, but expecting Firmino up top, Machup Chol out there. Really looking forward to seeing Alan Carlton after some really good, call it Bulldog minutes if you will, last 2 times we've seen him.
On the bench, you've got Tristan Traeger, you've got Darwin Mateus, you've got Eric Centeno and Luke Brennan as well. There's the man in the middle, Gabriela Giusti. Your ARs tonight, Fritz Barbarousse and Logan Reeves. Your 4th is Alexander Zhelyazhkov, and we are underway here in Kennesaw. As you're watching here in the first 45, the Miami FC in their double blues, they're going to be working from left to right very, very quickly. Atlanta United 2 in their dress blacks with the 5 stripes north and south are going to be working here from right to left. Your lineups brought to us by our friends at Bader Scott Injury Lawyers. And a quick foul on Firmino as Aiden Stanley tried to work his way up the left channel.
Curious how much we get of Miami trying to dictate things and control things. They took most of possession of the ball when they were at home at the midweek against Tulsa. I think it was 65% of the ball. But here against Atlanta United 2, try and find your opportunities and then see if you can turn over a young team that can get a little loose in possession at times.
Chapman Page found Stanley on the big switch after working it back to go forward. Over the top and in the corner, it's Lamar Walker. And it's going to be an early corner for the Miami FC here early in the 2nd minute.
A set piece is a dangerous situation for Atlanta United, too. It's a young team. It's a big team, though. Bryce Washington, Efrain Morales back there as well. Nelson Orji can jump out of the gym. Machup Chol being back there. But the goal that Miami got in the midweek was off of a free kick, so set pieces can be tricky.
Man we focused on in the open, Florian Velo. Bit of a short run-up here. They play it short. Below, back post, headed up into the air. Second chance, deflected away, and it's going to be yet another corner for the Miami FC.
You change the angle a bit on that corner when you play it short like that, a little 1-2 back to Below, so he's not hitting it at such a tight angle. And you actually scored the goal in the midweek on a back post header like that, where there was more of a free kick at that angle, and you were able to get somebody on the back post to put it in the back of the net right there, though Atlanta dealt with it pretty well.
You saw Christian Sorto flare out to help out with the angle, sent in toward the top of the 6th. Easy grab for Justin Garces.
Garces wanted to go quickly there, just pulls it back, and now Atlanta has a chance to build up.
Mikey Ambrose up to Firmino.
And as we talked about now, as it looked like a 5-3 or a 5 when we looked at it on the sheet, it's going to look more like this, more like a 4 for Atlanta United 2, where Highmar is going to be pushed further up the field, and you're going to see Mikey Ambrose playing that left back spot that many who have followed him in his Atlanta United career know very well.
Up in the air looking for Machup Chol. Chapman Page and Paco Craig were there, but Machup comes down with it. And Chapman Page is there to defend against Chol, and it's going to be a goal kick.
This will be interesting to see how Atlanta deals with this with their front 3. They've moved guys around. We've seen this before where, it might be Machup Chol in the middle. Later in the game, it might be Firmino playing in the middle. Machup's much more of a bigger target, but he's not just a big, slow guy out there to just bring the ball down. He's very crafty with the ball at his feet.
Up and over everybody that time by Connor Sparrow. It's going to be a throw for Atlanta United 2. Mikey Ambrose tried to work quickly, but Gabriela Giusti said, you need to work your way back a little bit, sir, if you're going to introduce the ball back into play. Second time done very quickly, all the way over to the right-hand side, Nick Firmino. Noah Cobb, back to Garces. And for those of you that might be watching Atlanta United 2 for the first time tonight, having a goalkeeper outside the 18, Jarrett, this is not a foreign thing.
No, Atlanta United 2 goalkeepers, pretty much any goalkeeper in this organization is going to play like another center back when they are not having to use their hands in the box. Justin Garces' heat map will be a little terrifying if you're not used to it.
And we've seen keepers in the past work their way almost from halfway between center circle and the arc at the top of the 18. So the wandering is a part of the system, and it's something that is expected.
It's a feature, not a bug.
Yeah. Foul called on the Miami FC that time.
This will be something to look forward to as well right there, where we saw it from Nelson Orji. He will not hesitate to step into the attack to kind of provoke and break that shape if he has to. If they feel like Miami's kind of settling in, a guy like Nelson Orji will try and carry it in there and try and shake things up.
And we've seen that with George Campbell on the first team, where you have your center backs, and if there's space there, they're going to go ahead and charge into that open space and be a part of the attack. Craig looking for Stanley. Passes through two of his teammates. Johnny Fortune now with it. He'll go back to Garces. Atlanta United 2 will reset here as we start the 6th minute from Kennesaw.
And more importantly for Atlanta United 2, they get their center back pairing back. Noah Cobb not available in the midweek against Red Bulls 2. And then you get him partnered up with Nelson Orji, and those are the moments where they've looked their best.
Turnover by Atlanta United 2. Ephraim Morales with the slide to try to regain possession in the corner. Orji is there with Christian Sorto. Last touched by Atlanta United 2. It'll be a deep throw for the visitors. Looks like Mark Segbers will take. Segbers directing a little bit of traffic. Leads the club in starts, minutes, games played this season for the visitors. Give him another couple of minutes and he will have cleared 2,000 for the season for the Miami FC. Highmar there to defend. It goes out, and it'll be a throw once again for the visitors.
It's all hands on deck right now for Atlanta United 2. You want to survive this early wave. Both these teams have played a lot of games, put a lot of minutes on their legs, and a lot of miles in terms of travel recently. Getting an early goal would be great for either team to be able to settle in.
And then we'll get a look at your keys to the match coming up here at the next stoppage. Charging into the 18 was Segbers. Down is one of the Miami FC players. I think it's Sorto who got it from short range. Achop Chol there to defend. Charging in is Lamar Walker.
Got it.
And the Miami FC still with Sorto down.
You got to. He's not moving.
Finally, Chapman Page plays it out, and they're going to bring on the physio for the Miami FC. You see Christian Sorto there.
I think it was Orji or Johnny Fortune tried to clear that out and put it right off the side of his dome.
There's Anthony Pulis, the head coach of the Miami FC. Let's take another look at it.
Yeah, so Johnny Fortune, he's just trying to clear it out of there, and Sorto happens to be in the way of it. And it catches him clean.
And Sorto will be making his way off on the other side of the touchline. And while he is, let's take a look at your keys to the match as you had the ideas here, 2 on each side for both Atlanta United 2 and the Miami FC. What'd you think?
For Atlanta United 2, it's a clean start. You want to be clean to start this game. Don't give up that early goal like you did against Birmingham, last weekend, which led to a really rough game. And clinical finish. This was something that plagued them during the midweek.
We'll take another look at it really quick. Segbers on the overlap and in. In the 8th minute, Mark Segbers puts it in the back of the net. Going right up against your keys that we'll talk about in just a sec. But Mark Segbers gets his 2nd goal of the season. That's the dream start that Anthony Pulis is looking for the visitors. The Miami FC up 1-0.
It's a great build-up play from the Miami FC. We'll see it right here. It's Velo, lays it off to Segbers, and there's Velo getting a 7th assist on the season. Just gets it, puts it right into his path perfectly. Segbers takes a touch, able to put it in that far corner. Justin Garces, who has been absolutely outstanding for Atlanta United 2, not able to get to that one.
Segbers, the ball in the back of the net, and after having a lead, then having a turnaround and a loss at home at Ricardo Silva Stadium in the midweek, and Anthony Pulis still urging his team on with the 1-0 advantage. That's the way you want to try to rearrange things.
And it's a dangerous time for them because of what happened in the midweek, because they score in the 25th minute against Tulsa. They conceded in the 27th minute. So it's that moment right after you score where you can be very vulnerable, and they were against Tulsa. So Atlanta United 2, if they can build something up quickly here and try and hit them on the counter quickly.
Morales tries to go over the top. Played quickly by Sparrow to Segbers. Looking into the middle of the park, up and over Romeo Parks that time. Noah Cobb is there to play a bit of center field. He'll go back to Justin Garces. Atlanta United 2 will start it up all over again.
And it's what Atlanta United 2, or frankly Miami, didn't want to have to deal with all the mileage they've put on their legs now with Miami. They can kind of sit a little bit. They can kind of absorb, make Atlanta carry the lion's share of the work here. Now Atlanta United 2 has to fight hard to get back into this game against a team that's going to feel comfortable absorbing the pressure. Miami's biggest issue has been consistently getting goals. Their defending has not been the problem.
Very binary, I think, in our analysis when we were looking at the goals scored.
A lot of zeros and ones this year. But again, they've defended so well. That's a lot of times that's all they've needed. It's a bad turnover.
Yeah. And here comes the Miami FC once again. Sorto looking for help. He'll find it back with Segbers, back to Speedy Williams. Segbers on the charge again. Velo lets it go, looking for Parks. Parks can't control it. Firmino and Bolu Akinyoti on the joust. Coming down with it are the visitors. Chipped into the middle. Velo looking to spring Parks. Parks cuts it back to his right. Three defenders are there for Atlanta United 2. Finally, just cleared out of the 18 just to kind of calm things down briefly.
Miami not done yet. They want more. They want to get comfortable here.
Williams back to Chapman Page. Segbers, Speedy Williams, Sorto. Nelson Orji there to stem that rush down the right-hand side. There's Jack Collison, the head coach of Atlanta United 2. Frustrated look on his face after giving up the early goal once again this season for the Twos.
Yeah, it's a tough situation to put your team in. You just keep on having to work and work and work. You give up the goal, then you've got to deal with a team that can kind of lean on you a bit.
Stanley toward the top of the sixth. Cleared. And here comes Atlanta United 2. Alan Carlton. A lot on it. Can Highmar track it down? He can, but it looks like Chapman Page wiped him out at the same time.
He's going to get a card for that.
And Highmar is still down right at the fourth officials table.
Right into the sticks on the camera down there too. Which, if you've never bumped into sticks, is not comfortable.
Sticks on a professional tripod do not give a lot. Let's take another look at Chapman Page coming in from the left. Wiped him out. That's dangerous. And Highmar goes right up against the tripod right there near the fourth officials table.
There's not much Highmar is going to be able to do there. It's just kind of an unnecessarily reckless challenge. Not malicious, just didn't need to make that challenge, and now he's got to play on a yellow card in just the 13th minute.
Highmar up and shaking it off.
It's also right there where the grass changes over to concrete. Not really a great place to go sliding.
No. I'll agree with you on that one, partner. Firmino brings it centrally, center circle.
Good look.
But nice backtracking there by Sorto to get it from Mikey Ambrose. Sparrow.
It's the right idea, just need more on the ball there.
Orji was there. The Sparrow sent it down the right. And now Firmino goes down the right-hand side, looking for Machop Chol, who's backtracked. And Cobb back to Machop Chol. Gets away from Walker, back to Noah Cobb. All the way from the right to the left. Mikey Ambrose is there to help out Nelson Orji. Mikey looking for Machop. Machop tries to chest it down, deflects, but it ends up right in the hands of Connor Sparrow.
It's not a bad idea with the touch. It's such a tough touch to pull down like that. Gets a little bit on the top of his foot, rolls over to Sparrow, who's able to pick it up.
Halfway through the 14th minute, the goal on the board by Segbers 5 minutes ago has given the visitors the advantage. on a long travel week for the Miami FC. It's New Mexico United. They were at the Lab. Then they played at home at Ricardo Silva in the midweek. And now they're here in suburban Atlanta. 3 matches in a little over a week's time.
Atlanta would have been bad enough, but having to go from Miami to north of Atlanta is a long drive if you've ever had to make it.
Especially when there's road construction and they shut down 3 lanes of traffic heading northbound on the interstate on the drive up, as evidenced by my travel plans. The computer driving assistant was a great help this afternoon getting up to the park. Garces sending it long, but Stanley is there for the Miami FC. Walker, Noah Cobb, nicely done there. Gets away from Lamar Walker. Garces has to send it away. Headed forward by Mikey Ambrose. Alan Carlton will track it down. Bumped off of it by Speedy Williams and a foul.
That's a smart foul by Williams. If Alan Carlton is able to keep his feet and beat Williams through there, Speedy Williams being who he is, it creates a really dangerous opportunity for Atlanta United. 2 goes shoulder to shoulder, goes shoulder to back in that case, knocks him down. Doesn't get a card for it and is able to make Atlanta reset here. It's a smart move.
You've been impressed with Alan Carlton's play the last couple of matches.
Yeah, Alan Carlton feels like a lot of these young guys. Johnny Vial is another one who's with Mexico's youth national team right now that seem to have gone throughout the year from being teenagers who were kind of treading water when they'd come into games to guys who are trying to take initiative in the games. We've seen Alan Carlton in that game against Birmingham. As much as people don't want to think about that game, Carlton came on late in that game and was a bit of a bulldog, was trying to challenge every ball. Every 50-50 ball for him was a personal insult, and he carried that through to the Red Bulls 2 game. Very impressed with what he's been able to do.
Cobb looking for a Johnny Fortune too much on that one. It'll be a goal kick for the Miami FC. Would you like to read a promo, sir?
We can do that. Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. Choose what you play with it. www.selectsportamerica.com. Select, League's choice, player's choice.
And viewing choice right now, as you see it being charged right up the middle. Walker once again, outlet to the right, and Christian Sorto. Segber's sprinting to his right, played centrally. Cobb was there. Mikey Ambrose is there, and you're going to get a foul by Mikey Ambrose as he was trying to wrestle the ball away from Romeo Parks. It'll be a set piece for the Miami FC from about 22 or 3, but it's square onto net.
It's a good bit of work there to seal off Ambrose and basically force him into making that foul. Great job, great touch. Good job putting your body between the player and the ball. Gave Mikey Ambrose one choice, and that's to pull him down.
Discussion ongoing from the Miami FC as to who's going to take. You've got Aiden Stanley there. You have Sorto there. Justin Garces directing his 4-man wall. Washington, Morales, Chol, Nelson Orji. Sorto or Stanley, that's the question. Sorto right into the wall.
It's a good job by the wall.
Stanley tried to send the rebound toward net. Up and over everything, goal kick for Atlanta United 2.
You put the wall right where you do and let Justin Garces handle the other side. Well, like we said, Atlanta United 2's got some size in that team. You can take a look at it here. And as Nelson Orji just putting his head down, it bounces off his head. You use that size. You're asking him to get the ball up and down in such a short amount of time, and especially with the height that Atlanta United 2 has, you're asking him to get it very, very high up.
Orji at 6'3" is a part of that discussion. Morales at 6'3". Here comes Parks again.
They might be underselling Morales' size.
Up and over. And Garces is there with a quick outlet to Firmino.
Miami's so quick trying to get the ball back, trying to stay with that bit of pressure. If Atlanta United 2 can string something together and break that initial pressure, I think they'd have some good opportunities getting forward.
Firmino. Washington. Fortune looking for Machop Chol. His first touch out of control, and it will go over the inline. Goal kick once again for the Miami FC. But you saw what Atlanta United 2 was trying to do there with Fortune connecting with Machop Chol.
You have to. I mean, you can't just continuously try and build it up short. At some point, you got to go long, and Machop Chol's giving him that opportunity. He's flashing those runs. A couple chances where his touch has let him down a bit, but you have to challenge that back line and make him think about getting beat from behind.
Below was trying to find Lamar Walker. Atlanta United 2 is there in defensive numbers. Back to Garces and a Johnny Fortune just outside the 18. Up the middle to Alan Carlton. Chapman Page was there to defend. Playing advantage, Morales. And we'll keep you up to date with what's going on at TQL Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio tonight, as well as the first team is taking on FCC. Firmino and Machop Chol.
Now we see Chol drop a little bit more into the midfield. This is where Chol gets interesting, where he can get outside and use his size. He's such a unique player to have to defend because he is so big and long, but he's very fluid with the ball.
Fortune, Bryce Washington toward the top of the arc, and Speedy Williams is there first. Back and forth with Velo, but Chol not giving up on the play. Fighting with Boluak and Yode with it, and it's going to be a foul on Machop Chol. We'll go to the visitors here early in the 21st.
So we saw somewhere where last time we talked to Jack Collison, this is something Bryce Washington has to improve on as he came out of the college system and has really kind of shifted around with this team, playing center back, playing right back. But his ability to get forward is something that he's been working on and needing to get better about. Taking a look at the first team action, Atlanta United has scored up in Cincinnati. MLS action.
Thiago Almada with his fourth of the season, so it's an early lead.
Thank you. I thought it was Almada, but I wasn't sure.
Thiago Almada, his fourth of the year, and for those of us who playing him in fantasy this week, that's a good thing.
But Bryce Washington is something to finish that thought. It's something that he's got to continue to work forward on in making the runs, timing them right, getting that delivery in so it's a proper delivery.
Ambrose looking for Highmar, chested down, but he had to kind of do it spinning away. Couldn't quite keep control of it, and it goes back to the visitors one more time.
I think Atlanta United 2 is going to have to keep challenging Miami as they kind of bunch up there and run that high back line. You got to go after them, go over the top. Doesn't mean you just have to hit home run ball after home run ball, but you want to challenge them up a bit. See if you can loosen them up between the midfield and the back line, and then find those spaces if you can loosen them up.
Chapman Page into the middle to Speedy Williams. Williams to his left to Aiden Stanley. Stanley quickly to Lamar Walker. That went back to Akinyode. Chapman Page down the right to Mark Segbers. Quickly Velo and back to Chapman Page. Both Machop Chol and Alan Carlton trying to figure out what direction Chapman Page was looking for the pass. Ends up down the left-hand side, but Atlanta United 2 is there to defend. Good work by Bryce Washington to help regain possession for the home side.
22nd minute into it, and I'm wondering if we get a similar conversation that Jack Collison had with his team last time they were at home in the second half of a game where it was about a guy like a Johnny Fortune getting forward more, getting more into the attack, being more aggressive when carrying the ball forward, as we see Nelson Orji be that guy sometimes, but guys in your midfield being aggressive and kind of forcing the issue a bit.
Garces to Noah Cobb as Bryce Washington wide to the right, plays it close to a Johnny Fortune and returned. Swept to his left and Nelson Orji.
But you see how little space there is between that midfield and that back line. It's so tightly packed for Miami. There's space behind if Atlanta can hit those passes over the top to try and loosen it up a bit.
The Johnny Fortune. Firmino. Past Walker. Chol. Keeps it. Tried to go step over and go down the right-hand side. Cuts it back to a Johnny Fortune. Possession kept as AJ finds Nelson Orji. Stanley was there inside the 18. Fortune couldn't quite grab it off the hop. It's going to go to Florian Velo now.
And now you got to get back and get reorganized if you're Atlanta United too.
Lamar Walker looking centrally. Noah Cobb up and over Alan Carlton to the back line of the Miami FC. Akinyode has possession, and he'll yield to Stanley.
And finding those bits of space are what Tulsa was able to take advantage of against the Miami FC in the midweek. And their first goal comes off of that tightly packed in midfield against the back line, was finding that half space and getting a good turn that led to an opportunity. Nice spin.
Speedy Williams out of a gaggle of 5 players, and he's got some space. Deflected, but kept by the Miami FC. Once again, it's Lamar Walker. Back to Speedy Williams as the rush wasn't there. Atlanta United 2's defense got back quickly. That back line of 4. So Stanley back to Paco Craig. Bryce Washington got there first. Give to Alan Carlton. Nicely done. Firmino.
There you go.
Up and over. Guts it to Highmar, but couldn't quite control it off the chest.
Atlanta's touch has let them down early tonight. They've had a couple of balls like that. It's a really good run from the left side from Highmar, cutting that diagonal into the middle of the field, flashing in front of the center back. But it's the second or third time they've hit a ball like that. It's been a good ball. It's just the touch isn't there.
Segbers to Florian Velo. I'm sure Atlanta United fans remember Florian Velo with his time at Red Bulls during the MLS's back tournament.
Florian Velo, a guy who dealt with injuries and was able to come back, and when he was on was so good. And as the Miami FC fans can surely attest to, when he is on, he pulls the strings so well.
Firmino looking to send Machop Chol down the right-hand side. Sparrow gets there first. Long looking for Walker. Firmino in a double team, and a foul called there as he grabs the back of Bolo Akinyode's jersey.
You have a conversation with him, and we reiterate this a lot, and it's because I want to always drive it home. I love this from a referee of, even if you're not going to throw that card, if there's going to be a stoppage like that and they're not going to go quickly, have that conversation with the player, communicate with him. It looks good to everybody that you're communicating. You're telling people where the line is. You're not leaving it up to, this might be a yellow, this might not be. Have that communication with the players and let them know where they stand with things. Keep things from boiling over.
Bryce Washington keeps it away from Lamar Walker, Cobb, and Garces. Around the horn to Nelson Orji. Orji goes back to Garces. And the swing will go from left to right. Cobb up the central channel. Looking for Ambrose up and over Segbers, and it will be a throw for the Miami FC in their defensive third.
That's good work from Segbers. He had it measured pretty well. Just watched it, made sure it bounced, made sure it didn't hit anybody, make sure there was nobody behind him. Good job of awareness of the space behind him.
Machop Chol pressures Sparrow into sending it long. Nelson Orji tracks it down. Gives Sparrow something to think about with the pressure that we traditionally see from Atlanta United and Atlanta United 2. See that player coming out of the corner of your eye now. It's something that will be a reminder for the remaining 60-plus minutes here in this match.
Yeah, you got to think about it when you see that guy flashing out of the corner of your eye. And maybe you get somebody to mishit a ball. Maybe they don't hit it as cleanly as they want to because they have to hurry for a flashing for a half second. It's a good opportunity there.
Alan Carlton finds Machop Chol, launches, big save, Connor Sparrow.
It's a good save from Connor Sparrow, Atlanta United 2, able to get the half turn in that little bit of space there. And Machop Chol puts his foot through it, makes Sparrow make the save. Let's take a look at it.
Great through ball from Mikey Ambrose. Both paws up there to parry it away up and over the bar. It's a corner for Atlanta United 2. Highmar looking toward top of the sixth and headed wide.
Firmino got a touch to it, just wasn't able to put it on frame.
Chance was there for Atlanta United 2 to get the equalizer here early in the 29th minute. Connor Sparrow on the year with a .95 goals against. In his 20 matches, only given up 19 goals, 9 clean sheets in the 20 matches that he has started for the Miami FC this year. There's that pressure we're talking about from Machop Chol. In and around Paco Craig, back to Connor Sparrow. Sparrow finally does pick it up.
It's a thankless job we talk about at times, of being that guy who's doing a lot of hold-up work, making runs that don't get paid off, having to pressure. You don't get your name in the stat sheet very much. But it does create situations where there might be a bit of pressure. And if you keep doing it a lot of times, all it takes is for it to pay off one time. And that's all that can matter.
Craig. One touch into the middle. Velo got his signals crossed with Sorto. It'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2.
Yeah, but up until then, a really good job of breaking that pressure. Atlanta United 2 saw what they wanted. They applied the pressure. Efrain Morales running all over the field, trying to keep pressure on, and Atlanta United 2 able to kind of get enough pressure, I think, on Florian Velo, where he tried to go one time. The miscommunication ends the attack.
Ambrose trying to get away from Sorto. Orji for Highmar. Highmar touches it. Last, it'll be a throw for the visitors and Mark Segbers. Callum Chapman-Page centrally to Speedy Williams. Aiden Stanley on the left trying to direct a little traffic. Walker back to Paco Craig. Alan Carlton in pursuit. Craig will go back to Sparrow. Alan Carlton in pursuit. Up the middle, up and over everybody, but tracking it down. But there to defend, they're going to call a foul on Noah Cobb.
Yep, that's going to be a red. He's the last man back in that situation.
Cobb defending Romeo Parks. And Gabriella Giusti went for the red card against Noah Cobb. Let's take another look.
Well, it takes a very weird bounce. And Noah gets him. There's no one else. There's guys back there, but there's no one else that if Noah doesn't make that, it's a 1v1. So looks like they're going to have a discussion on it.
Discussion with one of his ARs with Gabriella Giusti. And the red sticks. Yep. Johnny Fortune, wearing the captain's armband, is wanting an explanation on it. Jack Collison talking to the fourth, Alexander Zhelyazhkov. And now Jack Collison wants to talk to the AR and Gabriella Giusti and anybody close, and there's Noah Cobb, and his day is done.
The task gets that much tougher for Atlanta United, too, without Noah Cobb, who's been the best center back on this team this year.
And you lose Noah Cobb for the next match next week at Segra against Loudoun United. And now how does Atlanta United 2 respond for the next 60 minutes? Four-man wall once again. Quick run up and over the bar. Didn't miss by much that time, Lamar Walker.
So hard to get that ball up and down underneath the bar. Walker does a good job of getting it over the wall, just can't get it to drop fast enough. Well, we saw Atlanta United, too, get on the wrong end of being up a man and losing, so now they have to basically be on the other side of that, see if they can make something happen.
Firmino couldn't control it, so it'll be a throw for the Miami FC. Stanley quickly. Back to Speedy Williams and all the way back to Chapman Page. Velo. Segbers. Sorto. Mikey Ambrose is there, and you're going to get a foul on Mikey Ambrose.
Tried to go around, tried to kind of stick that leg out around him and get his whole body around it. Unable to do so and brings him down. They go quickly.
Too quickly for Gabriella Giusti.
I never apologize for trying.
We'll give you an update from TQL in just a little bit. U.S. Open Cup hero Brandon Vasquez when he was with Atlanta United, now with FC Cincinnati. Another goal for Brandon Vasquez this season for FCC. They're now tied at ones in the 28th at TQL. Below, cleared by Highmar.
Man who saw plenty of action on this field for this team.
And you and I, when we were talking before both of these matches kicked off, we had the feeling that what might be going on in Cincinnati tonight with the first team might be chaos.
Yeah, it might be. You're getting your own brand of it down here as well with Miami trying to keep in touch with the top half of the Eastern Conference. They play this corner kick routine.
Speedy Williams headed away by Efren Morales. Segbers tracks it down, goes all the way back to Connor Sparrow. Up and over everybody to Justin Garces. Here comes Atlanta United 2. 35th minute here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium in Kennesaw. An 8th-minute goal by Mark Segbers, the assist to Florian Velo. The Miami FC with the 1-0 lead as they're trying to stay above the playoff bar in the Eastern Conference. Their third match in a week. Nicholas Firmino step-overs. Double team, tries to cut it through both. He does. But there to regroup is Lamar Walker for the Miami FC as he's looking for Romeo Parks.
Never feels fair when you beat two guys and there's a third one waiting on you.
It's like a foul on Morales as Parks had gotten through the double team. Anthony Pulis can't believe it. Can't believe the whistle.
It's one of those where if you're the attacking team, you'd love to see him play advantage, go back and give the yellow card later, and let it play out if you think it can be a good advantage for your team.
Center circle, Akinyode to Chapman Page.
It's a dream situation for Miami now where they can look at getting multiple points on the road. They're up a man, they're up a goal. They can kind of take their time. They don't have to expend a bunch of energy here. They can try and break down Atlanta United too.
Sorto, Segbers. Scooped it to Velo, back to Sorto. Akinyode, Speedy Williams. Back out to Segbers on the right wing. Speedy Williams with some space. Chips it looking for Velo. Velo tries to settle. He can't settle in time over the end line, and it'll be a goal kick for Atlanta United 2.
Advertising board died a hero with that.
Blocker charge.
Oh, charge for sure.
The advertising board kept its position the entire time.
It had its feet set. It's had its feet set since about 3 p.m.
There you go. Morales looking for Firmino. Aiden Stanley got there first. Akinyode, Speedy Williams center circle. Segbers. Step overs. 1-2 with Velo there for the block, Mikey Ambrose. Stanley, left wing. Firmino is there to prevent a run. Back to Akinyode and Speedy Williams. Looking for Stanley one more time. Too much. Goal kick for Atlanta United 2. Would you like to do another promo, sir?
The reigning title holders visit in-state rivals as the USL on ESPN2 continues. Orange County SC looks for a late-season surge against Sacramento Republic FC. Sunday, September 18th at 5 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2.
And that is it for your promos here in the first half. We'll have more in the second 45.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Alan Carlton. Back to Efren Morales. Morales will track it down. He's got Bryce Washington off his right shoulder. Pressure from Parks sends it back to Justin Garces. Carlton to Mikey Ambrose. Ambrose looking for Highmar, up and over him and Chapman Page. It ends up with Connor Sparrow once again. And there's your story of the first half. 6 minutes ago, Noah Cobb, a dog so red. So Atlanta United 2 playing with 10 for the final 60 minutes. Parks.
Good block.
Looking for Lamar Walker, who tried to turn and fire. It was blocked away, but the Miami FC keeps possession. Akinyode and Florian Velo. Sorto back to Speedy Williams. The Miami FC running the perimeter right now.
He's trying to find plays. You're just trying to kind of poke and prod, trying to find places to get through there. Find those half spaces with a guy like Velo, see if you can create something quickly. And in worst case scenario right now, you're knocking it around, you're burning a bit of time, you're not burning a bunch of energy. It's a good place to be in if you're Miami.
Lamar Walker has it knocked away, but Akinyode is there to regain from a Johnny Fortune. Speedy Williams back to Paco Craig. Surveys, turns to his right and gives to Florian Velo. One thing that won't be a surprise if you're looking at stats at the half will be the passing percentage by the Miami FC. A lot of passes, high percentage.
A lot of possession, a lot of passes, a lot of successful passes.
Velo, chip, looking for Parks. Parks heads it up into the air. Garces will grab.
You know, Garces doesn't get, or Morales doesn't get a touch of that ball. Just the fact that it's like trying to chip it over a Winnebago. That makes it so difficult as the attacker to know if it's going to get there and what you're going to be able to do with it. And it's such a hard angle to put that on frame with any velocity.
Stanley fouls Machop Chol. Atlanta United 2 back up and running quickly. Alan Carlton all the way over to Nelson Orji. Ambrose threatened by Sorto, went back to Orji. Now Highmar with the touch. And there to defend was Segbers. Tracking it down, Orji once again all the way back to Justin Garces.
Atlanta's trying to find that combination down that left-hand side where you can get Mikey Ambrose overlapping into the attack and playing off of a guy like Highmar and get something going there and maybe find a bit of space. It's where they found that space with Machop Show earlier with Atlanta United 2's best opportunity.
Ambrose looking for Fortune. Disrupted briefly by the Miami FC on a double team, but kept by the twos. Firmino coming centrally, chased by Lamar Walker. Alan Carlton dribbles away from pressure, back to Efren Morales.
Interested to see how Atlanta United 2 changes this up after halftime. If they make any changes, how they change how they're going to go after attacking this team.
Alan Carlton looking for Machop Chol. Connor Sparrow was there. And here comes Lamar Walker down the left-hand side. Bryce Washington on a full sprint to try to disrupt, and you're going to get a foul on a Johnny Fortune.
And a yellow on him as well. Two's got to keep their heads here a bit. They're frustrated after the red card to Noah Cobb. They're frustrated because they're trailing. They're tired. They've played a lot of games. They've put a lot of miles on their legs. But you got to keep your head in these situations.
And as captain, a Johnny Fortune having his conversation with Gabriel Giusti. Akinyode to Speedy Williams. Looking for Segbers. Mikey Ambrose there to defend. Sent in toward the top of the sixth, up and over everybody. Nicholas Firmino is there. Stanley trying to keep Firmino from any kind of a charge up the right-hand side. Firmino spins away from traffic. Outlet Justin Garces. All the way back up to Mikey Ambrose on the left.
That's why your modern goalkeeper has to be able to play with the ball at his feet so he can be an outlet pass almost like another center back.
Highmar lost control. Chapman Page got it for the Miami FC. Speedy Williams looking for an opening. Scoop up and over. Finds Lamar Walker. Bryce Washington there to defend. Nicely done there by Bryce Washington to poke it away. And Johnny Fortune spinning out of trouble to Nicholas Firmino. Pass to Speedy Williams. The visitors have it once again.
This is going to be a thankless work from Machop Chol up there right now. He's just trying to be an outlet, and there's not going to be a lot of help right now as Atlanta United 2 so pinned back.
Segbers was cutting into the middle. Speedy Williams couldn't get it to him, so he went to Akinyode instead. Back and forth with Stanley and with Speedy continues. Segbers was looking for Velo, and here comes Nelson Orji on the charge. No foul there called by Giusti. Fans wanted it. Didn't get it, and here comes Akinyode again.
Nelson tried to sell it, but then got back up into it quickly. Didn't waste time. They don't have the bodies right now to be trying to sell it too hard.
Velo winds with the left. Past Stanley. It'll be a goal kick for Atlanta United 2 here early in the 44th. A lot of other action going on a very busy Saturday night in the USL Championship. We will get you up to date on a portion of that, the Eastern Conference course, because they're the games that are underway. Big battle of 1 versus 2 in the East. Let you know what's going on with that one. All the news and notes and everything else going on in USL Championship, that coming up at the half. Akinyode. Centrally to Speedy Williams with the right.
He's off.
And the flag is up on Sorto. Jack Collison directing a little bit of traffic as to how he wants the ball reintroduced on the offside. He wants Garces to do it. With about 30 seconds and any possible added time here in the first 45. And it looks like they got a foul call on Machop Chol this time on Chapman Page on the joust at the back. Paco Craig to Aiden Stanley. Back to Craig down the left-hand side. Below, nice first touch. Pulls Efren Morales down on a foul as he lost possession.
It's good first touch, as you said, from Velo, as there's 1 minute of stoppage time.
Fortune and Morales back and forth to get away from the pressure of Akinyode. Mikey Ambrose and Orji. Garces long down the left looking for Highmar, but Segbers was there. Mikey Ambrose is there to pick up the pieces for Atlanta United 2. Firmino. Fortune looking for the cutting Bryce Washington, up and over too much. It'll be a goal kick for Connor Sparrow and the Miami FC.
That might get us to halftime on this kick. He's going to make him kick it.
Uh-huh. Justy checks his watch, and that'll do it. So the first 45, obviously the big story for Atlanta United 2 is the Cobb red, and they have to play now the rest of the match 1 man down.
Yeah, it's a tough situation for Atlanta United 2. They got frustrated as the game went on, and Johnny Fortune speaking with the official right now, but you give up that early goal, you put yourself in a tight situation, you get a weird bounce that leads to a break, and then you know, it's Noah Cobb trying to make the tackle as the last man back. Let's take a look at it here.
And that's your decision maker in the first 45. Yeah. When we come back, we'll take the tour of the USL Championship, let you know what else is going on. The visitors with the 1-0 lead at the break. Stick and stay. We'll be right back to Kennesaw.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truist, together for better.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
You wouldn't put your team on the same field as the pros. So why would you take them to the same doctor? From growth plates to emotional needs, teens are different than adult athletes. Take them where they're treated that way.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare. To give you a better, seamless, more unified experience. So you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime. And even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truist, together for better.
Welcome back to Kennesaw here at intermission. The Miami FC with the 1-0 lead over Atlanta United 2. Time to take the tour around the USL Championship and let you know all of the other news and notes that have been going on recently. We'll start things off with the Team of the Week presented by our friends at Konami eFootball. And our Team of the Week and Player of the Week for week 22, Rodrigo Lopez from Sacramento Republic. He is Player of the Week. Both assists in the 2-1 win against New Mexico United before scoring a late equalizer against RGV. So a very busy week for Rodrigo Lopez. He's Player of the Week for Week 22 in USL Championship. Eastern Conference folks that are on that particular page, Amadou Dia at the back for Lou City, Johnny Dean for Birmingham Legion, Enzo Martinez for Birmingham Legion, 2 goals and an assist in the win against Atlanta United 2, Aaron Malloy from Memphis 901, Kyle Murphy from the Miami FC, who's on the bench tonight, did not start, Russell Cicerone from Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Those are your Eastern Conference reps for Week 22's Team of the Week presented by our friends at Konami eFootball. Let's take a look at the standings in the East coming into tonight. And so there are games that are going on that will shift this around a little bit. Lou City and Tampa Bay, right now, they have been the class of the operation. Tampa Bay has won 5 in a row. They've won 7 in a row. Lou City, the only blemish in their last 5 is a draw. So Tampa, Lou City, keeping pace with one another right now coming into tonight. Memphis 901 came in at 48 points, or came in at 45 points. They are winning in their match right now. Pittsburgh, Birmingham, all in that group. Then you've got 6 and 7, Detroit City and the Miami FC, and then you have the drop-off to folks below the playoff bar, starting with Tulsa at 8 with 28 points, some work to do if they're going to get north of the playoff bar and bump either Detroit or the Miami FC out. Indy 11 has had a rough stretch. They have lost 4 of 5. They came into today with 22 points. Loud United with 18. Atlanta United 2 below them at 16 points in 12th coming into today. That is only a portion of what is going on around the USL Championship. Here's some of the more information that you need to know.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals. I'm on that routine.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
Welcome back to Kennesaw. Still here at the half, getting you ready for the second 45 coming up in just a little bit. But let's continue to take our tour of the USL Championship and kind of some of the news and notes and the headlines. Great piece of news out of Rhode Island. They've broken ground on the Tidewater Landing Project, one of 5 stadium projects under construction in USL Championship in League One, scheduled to be completed on the waterfront in spring of 2024. Former Atlanta United captain Michael Parkhurst is attached to that Rhode Island project. So very, very cool news out of Rhode Island. Another story to keep an eye on out west with Orange County and the evolving situation about Championship Stadium in Irvine and where OC will be playing next year. Will OCSC continue to play in Irvine? Will it be someplace else? Because there is interest from Major League Soccer about the venue. It was supposed to be part of the discussion with the city government in Irvine, California on Tuesday, but it was pulled off the table. So negotiations and discussions will continue about the future home of, or the current home of Orange County Soccer Club and what could happen from there. And also, reminder, coming up around the corner, Sacramento Republic chasing after U.S. Open Cup glory, going for a championship in the U.S. Open Cup. Very, very cool to see the Sacramento Republic get to the last game in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Keep an eye on Republic. Can they take another Major League Soccer team down and win a title and get into CONCACAF Champions League? We'll keep an eye on that. That's just some of your news and notes in and around the USL Championship. Let's take a look at some of the scores. Craziness with Colorado Springs and El Paso Locomotive. 8 goals, late action, celebrations with folks apparently that had been given red cards that made their way back out on the pitch. Craziness in an 8-goal thriller out west. Orange County SC knocked off Phoenix Rising. Phoenix Rising's problems continue in the Western Conference. Some of the early action going on tonight. Hartford Athletic and Indy 11, 2 teams below the playoff bar in the East. Right now, Hartford leading 2-1. Memphis 901 playing the next home opponent for Atlanta United 2, winning 1-0 against Pittsburgh. That one's in the 63rd. East-West crossover. Birmingham leading San Diego Loyal. That one's early in the 21st, 1-0. 1 versus 2 in the East. At the interval, nothing is decided. Still a point difference in the standings as Lou City and Tampa are goalless. We have 1 goal here in Kennesaw as we get you ready for the second 45. And that's some of the other TV schedule to keep an eye on as we go forward. Tonight, if you're up late, USL Championship after dark. San Antonio at the top of the West against Vegas Lights. They're at 9 o'clock. Monterey Bay and Sacramento Republic, they're at 10 o'clock. Then tomorrow, Los Dos and New Mexico United, who have to turn around quickly and play in the midweek against Memphis 901. Birmingham and Detroit City, that's another one midweek. Orange County Vegas Lights, that's another one midweek. A lot of midweek action in the USL Championship as the sprint to the playoffs continues. That is your look about everything that you're keeping an eye on, keeping a watch on, ESPN Plus, all of that. Make sure that all your devices are charged. The Miami FC leads at the break. We'll be back for the second 45 after this.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truist, together for better.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
You wouldn't put your team on the same field as the pros. So why would you take them to the same doctor? From growth plates to emotional needs, teens are different than adult athletes. Take them where they're treated that way.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare. To give you a better, seamless, more unified experience. So you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime. And even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here.
BB&T and SunTrust are now truest, together for better.
Welcome back to Kennesaw. 17's getting ready for the second 45 minutes. Down a goal. No dilly, no dally. Let's get you into the first half highlights and show you how we got to this particular moment in time. Jarrett Smith rejoins, and early on, if you're either of these teams, considering what happened in the midweek, this can't happen.
No, it can't. Not for Atlanta United, too, especially a young team gets beat when there's a bit of a turnover there. Then you end up getting the goal. Fording below picks up an assist. Machopcho has the best chance in the match for Atlanta United, too. Puts a rocket in there, deflected away very nicely. And then you get the weird header, the weird bounce, and then the tackle, then the rojo.
Yep. And Noah Cobb can't believe it, but Gabriela Giusti gives him the red. Here's your first half stats. This is what we see. What do you think?
What I think is Atlanta United 2 is going to have to dig and find something if they want to get something here. They've got two shots. The one on target was Machopchols. They were trying to really poke and prod over the top of that back line, but their first touch kept letting them down on those long balls. Now it's going to come down to having to hit those more efficiently in the second half, and because you're down a man at this point, you're going to have to go find at least a goal down a man while also maintaining defensive integrity without the guy who's been your best center back for the season. Possession numbers 51-48, probably going to shift a bit even more into Miami's favor in this one. And look, Atlanta conceded 12 fouls. That might go up. They were getting frustrated at the end of the first half. Now comes the part where you're going to have to maintain that composure.
All right, time to revisit your 2x2 before we get into the second 45 minutes. And looks like Luke Brennan will be coming in, but that's your 2x2. What do you think?
So Atlanta needed to start clean. Obviously, they weren't able to do so. Clinical finishing, that was what let them down in the midweek against Red Bulls. They had opportunities in front of net. They didn't convert them. As far as Miami goes, like Miami is 6-3-2 away from home this year. They needed to continue to be road warriors to keep touch with the top half of the Eastern Conference, and they have done everything they needed to do so far.
Second 45 underway here in Kennesaw. Atlanta United 2, as you are watching, in their black uniforms with the five stripes north and south, will be working as you're watching from left to right. The double blue of the Miami FC will be working from your right to your left. One sub on either side. And so Luke Brennan is in for Atlanta United 2. We'll get to the sub for the Miami FC here in just a little bit. It looks like it's Highmar that is out as Brennan is in here in the second 45. That's your Atlanta United 2 substitution.
Brennan's been a bit of a spark plug when he's come on for Atlanta United, too. He's got a couple goals this year, some good performances, able to come on and bring some energy.
Speedy Williams, Akinyode, Stanley, past Brennan, whipped in toward the top of the sixth by Joaquin Rivas, who is the substitution in for the Miami FC here in the second 45. Chol trying to get it to Firmino into the legs of Chapman Page instead.
It's not a bad idea by Chol there, but Chapman Page able to get in the way, and Chol's not able to thread that needle. That's going to be a challenge for Atlanta United, too. They're going to be pinned back so much. When they do get opportunities to break like that, they're going to have to be pretty much flawless because getting bodies forward is going to be a challenge.
And it looks like Sorto is the replacement. Rivas is in for Sorto here in the second 45, headed up into the air. Big bounce inside the 18. Ellen Carlton will calm it down. Firmino tried to find a partner. last touched by Lamar Walker. It'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2.
Just a little bit loose on that touch from Firmino, and he's able to. It doesn't create a disastrous situation. It creates that throw in there, and you just want it to be a little bit cleaner.
Well done by Firmino to get past Segbers, and you're going to get a foul and a card for Segbers here in the 48th minute.
And Segbers checks on him, make sure everything's good. Just it's great work from Firmino. Goes between the leg, goes 5-hole on him. Able to get past him, try and spin off of him, and Segbers brings him down.
Take another look at it. Bump by Segbers, takedown by Segbers, card for Segbers.
Yeah, he's going for the ball. He just catches Firmino, and it's a yellow card.
Ambrose. Nelson Orji back to Garces. We mentioned the substitutes, one in for each. Still on the bench for Atlanta United 2, Darwin Mateus. Tristan Traeger is there. Vicente Reyes is your second keeper. Eric Centeno, Tony Tiente, and Andrew Degon. That is your bench for Atlanta United 2 that is left after the substitution here at the break.
A lot of technical players in that. I'm not sure how much. We didn't see Tristan Traeger in the midweek. Not sure how much he can give you, but Tristan Traeger's been electric when he's played this season. He has tied for the team lead in goals and came on like a house on fire to start his career in USL.
For the Miami FC, second keeper is Jake McGuire. You have Dennis Dewana. You've got Kyle Murphy, Richard Ballard, who both played in the midweek. You've got Junior Palacios and Adonijah Reed. That's the rest of your bench for Anthony Pulis here in the second 45. Firmino gets away from Akinyoti, looks for Brennan. Brennan gets there, keeps it away from Stanley. Had Firmino centrally calling for it. The low tried to challenge Johnny Fortune. Bryce Washington back to Brennan. Sends it in toward the top of the 6. Swatted out by Paco Craig as he was looking for Romeo Parks, who's got a head of steam down the left channel. Full sprint toward the middle was by Lamar Walker.
And Mikey got a little veteran pull of the arm there.
A little bit of veteran pull. Speedy Williams sends it up and over the bar, goal kick. But just enough while everyone was looking at the action on the left-hand side. Mikey Ambrose with a bit of a grab to kind of slow things down.
So that corner got beat on the press, and he's got to knock that wide receiver off his route just a little bit.
Kept Lamar Walker from going down the middle.
Lamar Walker found 6th gear on that run. That's a beautiful run down the middle of the field. And that's going to be there for Miami as Atlanta gets forward and tries to find the tying goal down a man.
Carlton, Brennan tries to get away from Stanley, and he does. But 3 the Miami FC players were there. Bryce Washington heads it to no teammate in particular. Chapman Page will grab up and over, and he was looking for Lamar Walker that time. Justin Garces working quickly to Mikey Ambrose down the left. Chope Chol took a quick peek on Paco Craig. Gives it back to Mikey on the left wing. Through ball looking for Machope. Machope gets past Segbers. What can he do with it? Tries to cut it back inside top of the 6. Nothing happening there. The Miami FC comes away with it off the charge by Machope Chol.
Lost his balance a bit there. Don't think there was any contact where he lost his balance, but dangerous situation. A great ball from Mikey Ambrose to play Machope Chol through. Chope just wasn't able to keep his balance all the way through as he's looking back towards the middle of the box. As we get an update from Cincinnati, a goal from Brenner has them leading Atlanta United as they are just entering the second half of play.
We'll keep you posted on that one all night long. It was a goal by Thiago Almada that gave Atlanta the 1-0 lead. Then goals by Brandon Vasquez and Brenner gave them the advantage after the first 45. And apparently, FC Cincinnati have been defending with 13 if you include both posts in the first half?
Yes. The post can be your best friend or your worst enemy. When it's your best friend, embrace it. A nice ball.
Akinyode through to Stanley. Stanley on the left toward the top of the 6th. Shoot away by Nelson Orji. Brennan looking for Machope Chol, trying to get away from Chapman Page. Keeps possession back to Firmino. Carlton, Ambrose. He had Chol briefly. Walker closed some space. Give to Nelson Orji. Poke to Carlton. Carlton back to Garces, under control. Efren Morales tries to get away from Velo. Has to go back to Garces instead.
You see those moments for these young kids a lot of times. USL moves so quickly that when you're under pressure like that, you've got to move quickly. You've got to think quickly. You've got to know where you're going with the ball. You take that half second to think. We saw Cho open on the left-hand side, but then he was closed down immediately. Nice run here from Nelson Orji.
Firmino lost possession. Mikey Ambrose kept it for the twos. Chol last touched by Walker, and it'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2.
We've seen Nelson Orji do that before, and it can be a bit of a spark plug when he does it. And it's a great tackle to stop him from making that run, but these are the runs you need. And you see it right there from Johnny Fortune until he plays it out of bounds looking for Cho. But those attacking runs into the midfield, trying to create something, trying to force the issue a bit on Miami. Make them make a play.
Paco Craig, Stanley, Brennan closing ground. Stanley had to retreat to Craig. Craig goes for the big switch looking for Segbers. Too much on it. It'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2 here early in the 54th.
Bit of a I got it, no you take it.
So one of them was Alphonse, the other was Gaston. Gaston is what you're saying.
Yes. Well, sometimes you can have that happen when you're hitting that big switch like that. You can hit it between guys, and then it becomes a matter of am I going to come back for it? Are you going to get forward for it?
Segbers tried to hop up and keep control of it for the Miami FC. Ends up with Paco Craig center circle. Stanley to Akinyoti.
Now, there's no danger there for Firmino, but he was much more calm than I would have been if someone karate kicked within 2 feet of my head.
Yeah. Focus on the ball and what you want to do with it as opposed to the guy who's trying to launch at you. Nice defense there by Mikey Ambrose to get in the way. Mikey's got some space down the left-hand side. Segbers was there to defend, as were Walker and Williams. Goes back to the visitors one more time.
They've swarmed so well on Atlanta United, too, when they've been trying to break. And we've seen it a couple times now for Mikey Ambrose trying to get down the left-hand side. But Miami just collapses things so well. Here comes Nelson Orji again.
Orji gets past Segbers, leaves for Machop Chol.
Machop's going to, up top by himself a lot. He's going to have to make the right choice over and over again.
Looking far side of the 18 for Brennan. Ended up with Rivas, eventually back to Connor Sparrow, and charging up the middle was Akinyoti and Speedy Williams. Joaquin Rivas, Stanley, and Akinyoti. The Miami FC with 4 players in and around each other. Now make it 5 with the outlet to Stanley.
A little bit disjointed at the back there from Atlanta United, too. They had the run on because Morales had dropped a little bit back and kept him on side, but they didn't hit the long ball.
Williams to Akinyoti. Rivas in with the left, up and over and through, but can it be tracked down by Lamar Walker? The answer is no. It'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2 here halfway through the 56th.
We've seen them do it a couple times now, trying to hit that left hand, the ball to the deep left-hand side on the run, and then trying to whip that ball in. And he did a good job of getting on the correct side of Nelson Orji. Ball's just too far out in front.
Mikey Ambrose looking. Give to the tallest guy out there, Machop Chol. Big hop. Firmino loses the challenge with Akinyoti, so the Miami FC will continue. Speedy Williams. Centrally to Akinyoti. Alan Carlton challenges. Rivas. Passed far enough away he couldn't control it, but he ended up sending it back to Akinyoti. The Miami FC will reset. Chapman Page to the right and Segbers. Quick one-touch work. Speedy Williams, Akinyoti. Second half's going to be a lot of pursuit by Atlanta United, too, trying to get the ball back from.
A lot of this from Miami as well, where they are able to kind of rest their legs a bit, try and break things down, but you don't have to burn a ton of energy to do so. So expect a lot of this passing, a lot of trying to find the free man after you've kind of poked and prodded Atlanta United 2's defense a bit.
Rivas thought about something inside of the 18. Back to Speedy Williams. 10 yards of space for Speedy. Akinyode. Stanley on a run. Blocked by Washington. It'll be a corner for the visitors.
Second or third time we've seen that where they've made that run where it's you see Luke Brennan going to cut off that ball, but instead of being that square ball to the outside, it's that run in behind where Luke Brennan was. You hit that vacated space, and Atlanta United 2 does well to deflect it out for a corner, but now you have to defend a set piece.
Below, set to take for the Miami FC. Anthony Pulis calling some players back from their warm-ups. Below, top of the 6, headed out by Bryce Washington.
Got a lot of big bodies for Atlanta United 2 to be able to handle those corner kicks. Felt like the best chance we saw for Miami from a set piece was when they were able to change the angle on that corner kick. Play it short, change the angle, try and get the defense moving around a little bit.
Firmino for Atlanta United 2 to Alan Carlton. Tries to get away from Romeo Parks. A Johnny Fortune over to Bryce Washington. Garces. Looking for Machop Chol.
Yeah, Machop had drifted offside.
So the Miami FC gets it back in quickly. Stanley looking, no foul there, as it looked like Romeo Parks was trying to encourage a call. Didn't get the call, hit the turf, stuck with Atlanta United 2. Firmino tries to get away from Speedy Williams. Give to Efren Morales. Back to Garces for the reset, over to Nelson Orji.
Jack Collison up figuring out what he wants to do, what kind of changes he wants to make to kind of break this down. Atlanta United 2 with their foot on the ball a bit here, see if they can build something with it.
Orji on the charge. Give to Mikey Ambrose on the left. Looking toward the top of the box in Machop Chol, but Paco Craig was there to head that off.
It's a good idea. It's got to be an inch perfect ball, and it's so tough because the way you're splitting those center backs there, and he's able to, Chapman Page is able to just step in front and grab it.
Another substitute about ready to come in for Atlanta United 2 at the next opportunity. Segbers on the right-hand side. Firmino cut him off, heads it back to Speedy Williams. Akinyode. Over to Aiden Stanley. Speedy Williams with the chip. There to defend was Nelson Orji, but quickly back with it, the Miami FC Velo.
Looks like Miami's got a couple subs as well. Rotating guys. No need to, if you feel like you're in a good situation, no need to play some of your key guys for 90 minutes on a warm night in Georgia.
Looks like Tristan Traeger might be the sub for Atlanta United 2. Below, looking for Stanley again. Stanley in front of the 6, just missed the connection there. It's going to be a corner for the Miami FC. So Florian Velo surveying quickly. Does not have the short outlet like he had in the first half. Looks like this one's going to be sent in toward the top of the 6. There'll be an outswinger with his right.
Holding off on the subs for now. You don't really want to make a sub right before a set piece.
Far post up and over everybody. Headed in toward the top of the 6. And you're going to get a foul. Or offside. Looks like Chapman Page was in an offside position. So now your substitutions. And it looks like Romeo Parks' day is done. And it looks like it's going to be Adonijah Reed. And it's going to be Kyle Murphy checking in. Tristan Traeger checking in for Machop Chol. So Machop Chol's day is done after 60 plus.
A lot of thankless work from Machop Chol. He had a couple of missed touches earlier, had the best chance for Atlanta United too as well. It got played in, I believe, by Alan Carlson on a good ball down the left. They forced a good save from Connor Sparrow, but in the second half here, down a man, it's just been hold up play and see if you can connect with somebody.
So Lamar Walker's day is done. Romeo Parks' day is done. And remember the Joaquin Rivas substitute to start the second half. So 3 substitutions now for the Miami FC. Rivas, Murphy, and Reed. Parks, Sorto, and Walker are out here in the second half. And so Tristan Traeger now in for Machop Chol. And Callum Chapman-Page is keeping a sharp eye on Tristan Traeger, and a foul on Bolo Akinyote. Here comes Atlanta United 2 quickly. Brennan, step over, gets past Rivas. Give to Firmino. Firmino now with Rivas. Into the middle. Keeps possession. Brennan with the left, chipped in, and Bryce Washington was there, but Chapman-Page heads it away. It'll be a corner for Atlanta United 2.
Nice sustained pressure from Atlanta United 2. You get the opportunity, you get the big body in the box. The official heading over to the side.
Giusti having a conversation with his fourth. And a card for Anthony Pulis. So Giusti and Pulis having a bit of a conversation after the card for Pulis.
You see Garces expanding his heat map a bit.
Yes, no doubt.
Well, it's a place where Atlanta United 2 can hurt you. It is on these set pieces, and they've worked one here. It'll be Mikey Ambrose taking it.
Outswinger with the left from Mikey Ambrose. Alan Carlton gets away from close range. Punched away by Sparrow. Rivas didn't get there before Carlton did. Collision inside the 18. Giusti asking for things to calm down just a little bit. Flag was up, so it's an offside on Nick Firmino, I believe.
I believe Firmino was not able to get back on side. And it's a weird situation. Those recycled set pieces can be so dangerous, but it's also very easy to get caught offside. And if you're able to stay on side, you can catch a team trying to get in transition versus trying to stay compact and trying to stay organized. But now Miami with a chance to get forward again.
Segbers combining with Adonijah Reed. Gets it back. The return, Reed blocked by Carlton. And it's going to be another corner for the Miami FC here early in the 66th.
Atlanta putting everybody in the box. Not really an outlet here for a counter the other way.
So it looks like Alan Carlton is keeping an eye on the low, as Stanley will have it as an in-swinger with his left. Far post, headed away nicely there by Bryce Washington. Speedy Williams tracks it down, and he will go all the way back to Segber's center circle. Velo, Stanley sweeps it in with the left. Morales was there. Traeger couldn't keep possession. Here comes Segbers again. He'll yield to Stanley. Center circle, Paco Craig. Speedy Williams through the traffic. Florian Velo through ball. And Orji was there to pick it off, but the pressure from behind by Speedy Williams keeps, or Adonijah Reed keeps possession for the Miami FC briefly, and just cleared away by Efren Morales.
So those dangerous moments where you can counter press if you're Miami, where you do turn it over in the attack, Atlanta gets those opportunities where they can think, okay, we can build something in the attack, but then Miami applies that counter pressure very quickly as Atlanta's got their gears going forward, then get caught out of shape a bit.
Stanley from Speedy Williams. Below gets away from the pressure from Atlanta United 2. Looking for Segbers. Eventually he'll track it down. Mikey Ambrose is going to get called for a foul on Adonijah Reed. Set piece for the Miami FC from about 25 or 6 away from goal.
Took him a second to decide if he wanted to give that one that, or I think he might have been waiting to see if there would be something on for the Miami FC, but it was not the case. So now they get a chance to whip something into the box. Let's take a look at it here. Ambrose has got his hands around him, pulls him down. It's a good job of posting up on Ambrose and forcing him to go through the man to get to the ball, but it's kind of a mirror set piece from what they had when they scored last week, so we'll see if they're able to kind of float this at the back post like they did in the midweek.
Stanley and Velo over the ball, and it's Brennan and Carlton, two-man wall. Is it Velo? Stanley, far post. Morales got there first.
And Chapman Page got a little bit of a push in the back. Not anything terrible, not anything worth getting mad about,
but enough of a push to get a whistle.
Enough of a push to get a whistle. It's that nice in-swinging ball where all you're looking to do at that point, if you're on the receiving end of it, is just kind of nod your head to it and let gravity and inertia take care of the rest.
Firmino is going to get a foul called on Adonijah Reed. Firmino says that that's 3 times he's been fouled and finally got a whistle.
Adonijah Reed also kicked the ball away.
Yeah.
That's probably another thing he's asking about, but temper's getting a little bit hot. Again, there were a lot of fouls in the first half. There have been fouls in the second half. You had a red card in the first half on a dog so temper's already getting a little bit hot. You want to kind of keep your head a bit.
Adonijah Reed trying to get the call, saying that Mikey Ambrose touched it last.
Mikey's trying to inch that throw forward a little bit.
Hey, inch it as far as you can until they tell you to move it back. Work it forward, work it forward, work it forward. Morales. Orji gets around Florian Velo. Stanley will track it down. Give to Rivas. Brennan gets it away from Joaquin Rivas. Looking to get it to Bryce Washington, but it ends up in Connor Sparrow's hands.
Unfortunate deflection for Atlanta United, too. It's a great bit of work from Luke Brennan to create that dangerous situation. Then it takes a deflection, goes off Bryce Washington's foot, and falls right to the very much waiting hands of Connor Sparrow, who picks it up and is able to restart the attack.
20 to go here in Kennesaw, plus any added time. Full sprint. Work toward the middle, and Garces will get there as Kyle Murphy's first touch happens 8 minutes in to his activity here in Kennesaw.
Kyle Murphy, 5 goals on the season for Miami. Tied for the team lead.
Garces trying to scout a passing partner, ends up going short with Morales. Morales down the right. Paco Craig was the only person there. Rivas. Anthony Pulis wanted a foul called on Firmino. Didn't get it in the backwash. Segbers now down the right. Alan Carlton in pursuit. Chip toward the right corner. Carlton and Segbers again. Segbers with
nice
the nutmeg, but great work to recover from behind. It's going to be a corner for the Miami FC.
That's a great play from both there. I mean, it's great for Segbers. A great little touch to go nutmeg. Carlton doesn't pull him down, though, is able to get his head around quickly and kick it out for a corner so it doesn't create that dangerous situation.
Outswinger with the right from Velo. Plays it at an angle. Speedy Williams sweeps it in. Definitely training ground material there. Paco Craig back post. Nothing happening. Goal kick. Would you like to read a promo, sir?
We can do that. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2022, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL Championship action on ESPN+, the home of USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com.
3 down, 1 to go in that department on the night. Launched with the left, looking for Traeger, up and over him and Chapman Page. Paco Craig playing center field, gives it to Speedy Williams. Rivas back and forth with Stanley. Back to Paco Craig. Had to make Chapman Page work for it because of the pressure from Tristan Traeger.
But that's what pressure can do, even if somebody completes a pass under pressure. And it's not as pertinent in this game because of the game state we're in, but you can still have a completed pass under pressure that causes problems, because if the pass is off, in that case, Chapman Page has to go back and get it. He's not getting the ball with a step forward where he can make the aggressive pass that he wants to make. He has to go and reset it.
Adonijah Reed double team, Firmino and Ambrose. Segbers was his outlet. Step overs trying to get past Alan Carlton. Stands his ground nicely. Has to come back outside the 18.
Twice now. Alan Carlton hasn't been afraid. He's gotten nutmegged once, but he was able to recover on it there. Stood strong in that situation.
Stanley looking to go 1-2 with Rivas. Brennan there to intercede. A Johnny Fortune give to Brennan. Brennan triple teamed, loses his footing, also fouled by Rivas.
Got a sub coming in for Atlanta United too as well.
And so that will be the day for Nicholas Firmino. Eric Centeno now checking in for the final 17 plus. So Centeno in for Firmino.
Super draft selection by Atlanta United. If you are, if you're looking at the number of step overs for Centeno and they give you a number, take the over.
Yes, that is precisely correct. "20 minutes at TQL Stadium in Cincinnati. The score is still 2-1. FC Cincinnati leading Atlanta United. We'll keep you posted on that one as we go. In toward the top of the 6, knocked up into the air. Brennan tried to bring it down. Traeger will get there for Atlanta United 2. Back to Mikey Ambrose. Cycling quickly. Alan Carlton goes right, left. Can't keep possession. Rivas sweeps it away, but right to Mikey Ambrose again. Ambrose can't deal with the first touch.
Gotcha.
And a foul and a card as Mikey was trying to keep Adonijah Reed from a rush.
It's professional foul for Mikey Ambrose. Adonijah Reed's going to take off. He's going to be off to the races if he does not foul him just like that. At that point, you're looking at a 2-on-1 situation if he's able to get by. It's great work from Adonijah Reed to get free and force Mikey Ambrose into that situation.
Second yellow on the season for the twos for Mikey Ambrose. Chapman Page. Below, Segbers. Speedy Williams in the middle again, looking for Rivas. Back to Bolo Akinyote. Speedy Williams chipping. Headed out, headed away. Once again, settled down by the Miami FC. Akinyote again. Speedy Williams and Segbers. Into the middle, Adonijah Reed was the cutter. Nelson Orji there to defend. Back out to Segbers outside the 18. Top of the arc, Speedy Williams. Sweeps it with his right over to Stanley. Akinyote, Speedy Williams, Segbers. Stop me if you haven't heard that one before tonight.
If you do 15 minutes left here, if you're Atlanta United too, if you got anything in the tank, now would be the time to start hitting the little red button.
Bryce Washington tried to spring Carlton, and a foul on the Miami FC.
Card came out really quickly on that one.
Akinyote gets the yellow this time.
Yeah. Caught him on the tackle. Garces is up to take this. Yeah, just this is we're waving everybody forward. We take a look at it again. It's a bit of a loose touch. It's going to Washington. He's going for the ball, catches Washington. Yeah, standard yellow card.
Garces down the right. Fortune there for second touch. Centeno tries to send it to himself. Akinyode in control. Looking for Velo. Carlton, tug 1-2.
That's within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. There's no card there. Chapman Page, no flag.
A great move by Velo, though. Great first touch to try and get past Carlton, force him into that foul.
Segbers. And Mikey's got to be careful here. Foul on Adonijah Reed again just outside the 18. Luke Brennan, very, very smart, making sure that nothing starts too quickly. Let's take another peek.
He goes down pretty easily there.
He
He's
does.
looking for that. He's looking for the fouls to start piling up on Mikey, and it's smart because you know you got a guy who's on a yellow card on your back. You go down a little bit easier. If you can rack up another foul on him, you try and do it.
Rivas and Velo looking over this one for the Miami FC. Rivas, hand in the air, in swinger with the left, looking far post through all the traffic.
It's a great delivery, and Garces is just not able to get a hand on it. It goes through two heads, and Garces' hand. Whew. It whipped that ball in at pace, and at that point, again, all you're trying to do, you get a touch to it, and you just try and redirect it. You don't have to provide any power with that one.
Halfway through the 79th minute, 11 minutes plus any added time with the substitutions. Probably a couple of minutes right now. Atlanta United 2 down a man, chasing an equalizer. Nelson Orji chasing that wayward pass, tracks it down. Traeger. Ambrose keeps it in. Brennan back to Tristan Traeger. Center circle. Reed was there, and he was looking to get Murphy going, but Atlanta United 2 there to defend. A Johnny Fortune looking for a partner. Through ball looking for Brennan down the left. Segber's got there first, so Brennan's having to chase. Connor Sparrow sends it up to the second floor, and you're going to say, after consultation.
I'm not sure anyone knew who that ball went off.
Yeah, half of them were saying Rivas, half were saying Ambrose. Fans were saying Rivas, but it went off of Ambrose. At least that was the majority decision. Segbers.
That was a great opportunity for Atlanta a moment ago there. Unfortunately, just looking for somebody to make the run, and no one made it in time before Miami was able to get kind of reorganized a bit.
Williams. Through ball. Reed tries to get around Nelson Orji. No whistle there. Well done by Nelson Orji. And Reed bumps Alan Carlton off the ball. He's asking Adonijah Reed to settle things down. Atlanta United 2 working quickly. Morales sends it right to Segbers.
Trying to go quick, catch him off guard. Segbers keeps his head on a swivel, though, and is able to take it down, and Miami's back on attack.
Rivas now on the right. Segbers. Past Speedy Williams. Akinyode now in a 1-2 with Speedy. Over to Stanley on the left. Rivas. Mikey Ambrose is there to defend. Looking for Velo. Deflection. Velo doesn't get to pull the trigger. Well done, Efren Morales.
Morales has to get it exactly right, and he does.
Craig. Akinyode. Speedy Williams.
And we said in pregame, Velo's got 2 goals on the season. He's more of an assist man, but that's one where your eyes get big, and Efren Morales has to step in perfectly and does it, gets it away, and Miami's now back on the attack, but Atlanta get a little bit of a reprieve at least.
Segbers now in the middle. Pulls the trigger with the left. Kind of scuffed it a little bit. Sends it wide. Goal kick.
But, man, Kyle Murphy makes that run to the right-hand side. He's making that diagonal run left to right. It creates that bit of positional gravity where he pulls two guys with him, and Segbers is able to see that spot open up on the left. Just takes a couple touches to the left, and he ends up getting a good shooting opportunity. He just scuffs it. But it's great movement off the ball by your striker that frees up that opportunity.
Fortune across the 18 to Morales. Sending it long, looking for Traeger. Paco Craig heads it down. First and second touch go to the Miami FC. Williams and Akinyode calm things down for possession one more time, going from right to left.
It's been it's had moments where it's gotten a little more open than I think Miami would like. When Atlanta's gotten opportunities, Atlanta just hasn't really made them pay for it yet as Bryce Washington goes clattering.
Into Adonijah Reed.
Miami's been able to settle it down, though. They haven't been too threatened by it. Atlanta United 2 hasn't come, within inches of punishing them.
So it looks like Stanley now it looks more and more like Rivas as Stanley walked away. So quick reset. Space for Stanley, sending it in with the left, headed out by Morales.
Nice work. And look, that's the thing is if you're going to head the ball away like that, don't head it back towards the middle. Get it out to the side, get it out to the end lines, and he just gets his head around that and fires it out to the end line or to the far touch line. Excuse me.
10 minutes to go in Cincinnati. FC Cincinnati still leading Atlanta United by the score of 2-1.
Good touch.
Reed gets past Carlton, cuts centrally. Murphy wanted to pull the trigger, could not. Akinyode through ball. Rivas with the left, just missed far post. That close to the second goal for Anthony Pulis and the Miami FC.
We got a sub coming in for Atlanta as well.
And it looks like Darwin Mateus is coming in for Bryce Washington.
This is a go-for-it move. You're taking off your right back / center back, whatever you want to call him when you got 10 out there. But Darwin Mateus, very crafty individual player, can be very dangerous in front of goal if he gets the opportunity. Jack Collison more than once referring to him as our little magician. I believe that's all the subs Atlanta has.
So let's see if Darwin Mateus can pull an ace out from his sleeve here in the final 5.5 minutes, or at least be part of it for Atlanta United 2 as they're chasing after an equalizer. Brennan. Murphy closes. Kept there. Here comes Darwin Mateus with his first touch. Murphy and Speedy Williams there to try to interrupt his path. Back to a Johnny Fortune. Mikey Ambrose on the left. Segbers defending. Ambrose cuts it to his right. Give to Fortune. Back to Brennan. Carlton. A lot of weight on that pass. Fortune calms it down. Right-hand side, Centeno, step over, chip toward the top of the sixth, over Traeger and past Ambrose.
Miami with a chance to break now once again.
Reed. He had below to his left.
Well, that's great work from Atlanta's defense. And Reed's going to want that back because he had opportunities. He just didn't take advantage of it. It's starting to open up a little bit more than Miami's going to want.
Connor Sparrow has to take it back so inside the 18.
That's great from Connor Sparrow because you just want to bring the game down at that point. Because at that point, it's opened up either way. The ball comes back to Connor Sparrow. He's able to get it back and fall on it.
I've got to get it back to the 18. Back to the 18.
Just take a knife and stick it in the ball and just kill it for a minute.
Rivas down the left. Looking for Murphy. Cuts it back. Ambrose is there to keep it from getting to Reed. Stanley muscles Centeno away from the ball. Well done there by Darwin Mateus. Mateus looking for Traeger, finds him. Swept forward. Mateus keeps possession. He's got Centeno to his left, tries to get it past the defender Chapman Page, and it doesn't quite work. Here comes the Miami FC.
He tried to bend that ball about 40 degrees.
Murphy with Morales in pursuit. Murphy cuts it to his inside, launches with the right, and just missed to the near post.
That's great strength, and you love to see from the striker to be able to get it, hold off the defender, and get the shot away, as it looks like that might be Nelson Orji down.
Let's take a look at the end of the play.
Murphy holding him off, doing a great job, and then fires it just wide. And it looks like Justin Garces had that corner measured.
It might be a bit of friendly fire from Morales as Morales is working back.
Morales is not exactly the guy you want to have to be holding off the ball either. It's a very large human being, a very strong person. It's such great work to hold him off enough to get this shot off. Let's take another look at it right here. It's a good touch. Get it on his right foot.
Oh, there's your collision right there.
Yeah.
So it was at the end of the play as Murphy's on ground and Orji is trying to close space. Murphy and Orji meet. And so that's where Orji going down for the sustained period of time came from. 2 minutes and any other minutes that Gabriela Giusti feels are appropriate. That's where we are here. Goal from Mark Segbers in the 8th from Florian Velo. Gave the Miami FC the advantage, and they've held on to it since. You see in the upper right, in the upper left-hand corner, Noah Cobb on a dog-so call. Got a red in the 31st, so Atlanta United 2 has had to play for more than 55 minutes, a man down, trying to gain some chances. But the Miami FC have anchored themselves fairly well in keeping possession and trying to chase a second goal on their own. Foul on a Johnny Fortune there on Akinyode.
We do have an update from Cincinnati. It's Andrew Gutman who scored, tied 2-2 in the 86th minute.
Mama, there goes that man again through the goal mouth.
There was almost that man again.
Yeah. Another chance by Murphy, just missed.
Kyle Murphy's been a house on fire since he came on. That's if he gets a touch on that, it's with back of the net. Been a lot more dangerous, I think, since he came on, and caused a little bit of trouble.
One final word, if you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM-FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern with Mike Watson, Devin Kerr, plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM-FC 157 and the SXM app.
4 for 4.
Akinyode over to Stanley. Looking for Rivas, and it is over the touchline, so it'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2.
I know we'd already said go for it. You're out of time. You have to go for it, but this is definitely where Atlanta is going to be pushing guys forward. We've seen him give up a couple of dangerous opportunities in the last few minutes as you're getting more and more bodies forward. They've defended with bravery tonight, being down a man. There's another foul. We get 3 minutes of stoppage time. They have to go for it. They've defended well. They fought well. Now they have to try and get something tangible out of it.
Foul on Rivas. Rivas disagreed with the assessment from Gabriela Giusti. You see Jack Collison there on the left trying to get things orchestrated a bit.
Nelson Orji way up there as well.
And they'll give it to Mikey Ambrose. Too far for Mikey to put it on target, but with his imagination.
Yeah, Mikey is completely incredibly underrated with his ability from a set piece, but that's a little far out even for his imagination.
Scooped in, chested down. Orji tries to turn.
And they foul offside.
And Giusti trying to make sure that the Miami FC players, multiple.
Chapman Page having a word with him as well. They were trying to get, they felt Nelson went down easy and they were standing over him. You just, at that point, you're trying to get everyone away, make sure someone doesn't say or do something stupid where you have to send someone off, because as an official, you are trying to keep 22 players on the field.
And especially at 90 plus.
Yes.
Murphy gets first touch. And he's last to touch. It'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2 with about a minute 20 to go.
Good work from the ball kids.
Working quickly. Working quickly when appropriate. That's always good.
Yeah. When appropriate is the key part here.
Craig heads it twice. Akinyode. And here comes the Miami FC. Flag stays down and in by Florian Below. At that point, Atlanta United 2 trying to, get everybody forward, and you end up with a moment like that in transition.
You're trying to tie it at 1 or you're going to lose 2-0, and that's just the way it goes in that situation. For Atlanta United 2, you end up losing 2-0 in that situation where you're pushing forward. Take a look at it again here. It's a good ball off to Velo, who's had a really good night. Already has an assist. Gets Justin Garces leaning one way and just side foots it, going the other way. That seals it up, and it's 3 huge points for the Miami FC.
Coming into the night at 9-8-7. Or 9-8-7 as they were chasing after this. They're in the 7 spot in the East right now.
Such a good boy.
Trying to make sure that they can keep pace with folks above them. Ball's in play. Whistle goes from Gabriela Giusti, and that's your game. Handshakes from Anthony Pulis and Jack Collison, and the Miami FC comes away with all 3 points.
It's a good performance from them. They did everything right that they needed to do. They got the early goal right as we were literally talking about how Atlanta couldn't give up an early goal. Miami gets one. Then they create an opportunity off of a header, off of a long ball, where you get a situation that creates a dog-so, and Noah Cobb gets sent off. They're able to control the game in the second half. It gets open in a couple sequences, but nothing too far open where Miami feels uncomfortable. And then as Atlanta pushes forward, you get the opportunity late with a 2-on-1, and Florian Below, who has your goal and your assist, finishes things off. As it stands right now, before we know what's going on with Detroit City, that puts Miami on 37 points and 6th in the Eastern Conference.
We'll come back and put a bow on it here in Kennesaw. Full points to the visitors. The Miami FC win it 2-0 over Atlanta United 2.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
You wouldn't put your team on the same field as the pros. So why would you take them to the same doctor? From growth plates to emotional needs, teens are different than adult athletes. Take them where they're treated that way.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare. To give you a better, seamless, more unified experience. So you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime. And even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here.
Welcome back to Kennesaw. Your man of the match brought to us by our friends at Piedmont Orthopedics. Tonight, it belongs to 35 in black.
It's Efrain Morales, who's had a chaotic year. You know, we've talked about him for a while now. He's such a physical specimen and a unique player at the 6, but he's had to play a lot of center back. Stepped in and played the 6 tonight, then had to drop back and play more center back. Put in a really good shift, had a couple really important tackles that kept things close and gave Atlanta United 2 a chance.
Efrain Morales, your man of the match, once again brought to us by our friends at Piedmont Orthopedics. Let's take a look at the final match stats. This is what we see. What do we know?
Well, we know that goals change games and cards can change games. Atlanta United 2 gives up the early goal. They end up chasing. Then you get the red card, and they end up playing 60-plus minutes down a man, and that's why you get Miami with 56% possession, having 16 shots. 2 of them only on target. Actually, Atlanta United 2 did a really good job of limiting them. Great job of limiting that distribution of the box. They didn't collapse. They didn't just get run off the field. They did a good job fighting. They just didn't have it in them to find that goal down a man.
Let's take a look at the next 5s and show you what's next for the 17s as they await the Atlanta United 2 players coming over to greet them. The next 5 for the Miami FC, 3 of the 5 are at Ricardo Silva. Hartford, then they get Lou City in Boca Raton, Birmingham in Boca Raton, Red Bulls 2, they have to go to Montclair, and an interesting one there as match number 5.
Yeah, you get the return here. Atlanta United 2 has to head down and play in Miami, and it's going to be interesting to see where the Miami FC exists in the table. As it stands right now, they're in better position than they were. As the live table, they are in 6th ahead of Detroit City. Hartford, Lou City, Birmingham, we know that's going to be a tough run. We just saw Red Bulls 2. They can be a bit scrappy, especially when you have to go up to New York.
Let's take a look at the schedule for the 2s, the next 5s here. And the thing is, you've got those 3 in the middle. Those are 3, and after that, there's only one more home match this season, and it's later on in the 9th month of the year against Indy 11, so you've got to make your hay here at home, but you're at Loudoun. Tulsa comes here. Pittsburgh traditionally tough with what we know defensively from Coach Lilly. Memphis 901 toward the top of the table, and then you go to Ricardo Silva there for match number 5.
Loudoun's going to be looking for revenge. You beat them 2-0 at home earlier in the season. Robbie Mertz will be coming back with Pittsburgh. That'll be fun to see with the impact he made on this team when he was here. Then you get Tulsa, who Atlanta United 2 has traditionally played some chaotic games with. Memphis has a lot of guys that Atlanta's familiar with. And then, as you know, Miami FC.
So that's your next 5s for both the Miami FC and for Atlanta United 2. Football 305 comes up with a 2-0 win. The 17s were here tonight to root them on. A goal by Segbers, a goal by Below. 1 in the first half in the 8th, 1 with a handful of minutes to go. The Miami FC stays north of the playoff bar. This has been the USL Championship on ESPN Plus for everybody here in Kennesaw. For Jarrett Smith, I'm John Nelson. Play safe, everybody. We'll see you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.